What's up, Lego builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for another update on Umbara. This week's update is going to be a little bit longer than usual because I kind of have to cram 2 weeks worth of progress into one video, because last week I did the 500 subscriber mock contest announcement. But that should be good news for you guys because that means more Umbara to see today. We have a lot to cover. We will finally get to see what a lot of the plant life is going to look like, where it's all going to be, the different types of plants, and how many plants I'm going to have on the mock in total, just a rough estimate, as well as finally taking a look at some vehicles. I'm going to show you guys what my Umbaran hover tank is going to look like, as well as taking a look at some spotlight designs for my gunship. But enough talk, let's go get started. First things first, I got to get you guys all caught up on what I did last week because there was no update. So as you can see, we have finally started to get some plants on the mock. I have three different kinds right now. I've got this pipe kind of plant, and then I have this plant. This is going to be the most prominent one on the mock. It's just kind of a black dinosaur tail. And then this one right here, I saw a similar build to this by a guy who made a different Umbara mock. I'm not sure what his name was because I haven't been able to find the mock since then. But later on in this week, I'll show you guys how I build that one when I build some more. So we got this little hill's been completely covered. And then I have some of these smaller plants. They're just the claws. And I thought it made a pretty cool looking plant. And then up over here is going to be where most of the foliage is, because in the actual scene, the clones land down in this kind of empty field and kind of work their way up into the more thickly jungled areas. So once I get more plant pieces in, you're going to see more up here. I've got another little patch of plants with basically the same kinds of plants with different lengths. I didn't want everything to be the same length because that would look a little bit too uniform and wouldn't look very much like a jungle. And so what this is going to do is probably going to spread up this way a little bit, and then it's kind of spread along the back of the mock right there. And then I have a little bit more plants right here, and I want to add more to that area. I also got a lot of the terrain detailing done as well. Really, I just have to do this large patch right here and then this area right here, because last Saturday on my stream I was able to get a ton of progress done with all of this detailing, and I must say it looks a lot better. Hopefully you guys can better grasp what I'm going to be doing with the terrain, because for a while it just looked very flat and uniform. Also over here I worked on this little kind of earthen mound. I guess I can't call it earth because it's Umbara, but basically what the Umbarans are going to have right here is like a little fortification that they're going to be running up to and then hiding behind as they fire out on the clones. A couple of other things to point out. I have started placing a lot of the red studs. So these are supposed to represent like small little red plants. And then I also have a smattering of these purplish ones. These add a great highlight color and helps break up the red and black a little bit. I probably would have more of those, but they're surprisingly expensive and hard to find on Bricklink. So I'm going to try to use the rest of these purple ones wisely, maybe putting them on another plant or something like that. Now that I've got you guys all caught up onto speed as to the progress that I've been making, this week's update is going to focus on a couple of things. First is going to be this Umbaran hover tank. So to give you guys a better idea of what I'm building, this is what the Umbaran hover tank looks like. And it's a pretty cool looking machine. It doesn't see a whole lot of screen time in the TV show, but basically to my understanding it works as kind of like an artillery cannon. So each one of these releases some kind of weapon charge. I don't really know what it is. It looks like an energy burst, and they just fire repeatedly from each of the cannons. And as I was deciding how to build mine and what it would look like, this is kind of what I threw together, and obviously you can see it's not very complete. And let me show you why that is. So the Umbaran hover tank is going to be positioned right up here, and as I've been thinking about building this tank, something has been bothering me, and that's the close range of this tank and these gunships. Let me stand up to show you guys what I'm talking about. As you can see, the tank is going to be very close to these gunships, and to me I felt like that would just look weird, because it would almost be like these gunships were sitting ducks for this cannon. Like there's no way it could miss them. And as I thought about the opening scene of this episode in the Clone Wars, I remembered that so before these gunships drop and unload their troops, some gunships come down first a ways off back that way, and they release a bunch of ATRTs, and the ATRTs come up here and destroy the cannons, and then the gunships with the troops come in and drop off all the troops who begin to assault the rest of the Umbaran forces. So in order to be accurate as I can to that movie scene, by the time these guys are already being unloaded, all the Umbaran hover tanks are destroyed. So what we're gonna have here is a partially built Umbaran hover tank. That's why I only have like half of it. And then so far I've got this seat. I will be adding a little bit more pieces to kind of give the illusion that more of a tank was there. But that kind of solved the problem of having a giant tank right there and a bunch of gunships right there. So what I'm gonna be doing next is working on this Umbaran hover tank, adding some more pieces, and then kind of filling out the area to make it look like a destroyed tank was there. And once I've got more progress, we'll check back in with another update. Okay, I'm back, and I've pretty much finished the wreckage of the Umbaran hover tank, so I didn't want to build too much of it. Basically just wanted to use the pieces I had. But we have this this part that you already saw, and then I worked on this little cockpit part where the pilot would have sat, and then I just have some random slope pieces scattered throughout. Let me know down in the comments if you think this looks good, if I should add more pieces around that area to give the feel that more of it's kind of scattered throughout that spot. I also have a very exciting update with the gunship headlights. So I actually just barely designed these. I'd been thinking about how to put them together for a while, and I decided because I'm so close to being done, I might as well just get them out of the way, and I think they look really good so far. So this is what I'm trying to replicate. These are the gunships, and you can see them landing down on Umbara. And then right here, you can see the headlights. At first, I thought they were black, but I realized that was just the shadow world of Umbara. You can actually see up here, this one's been illuminated, and those headlights are white. So that's what I'm trying to replicate here. I have two fully complete ones that will be going on a gunship, and then a third, and I have an order coming in for the rest of them. These spotlights are a pretty simple design, which was very good because I didn't want to have to order a bunch of new pieces in. I have most of these parts. I mostly need more of these cans and some of these Technic pieces. It's a very simple design. It's just two of these circular wheel pieces hooked together, and then you have a bunch of those trans blue cans in there to represent the light, and then these Technic pieces on the back are what connect the spotlight to the gunship, and the spotlight will just clip on right underneath this front area of the gunship. And the nice thing about being able to move these headlights or spotlights up and down is some of these gunships, this one in particular, will be very close, hovering just above the ground, and so these spotlights will have to be raised up a little bit, whereas I have another gunship that's going to be over there that will be up in the air, so these headlights will be able to be lowered down underneath the gunship. And with that update, that wraps up this week of building Umbara. I made a lot of really good progress this week, which is very good because next week is going to be the last week of building Umbara before the finale. So I still have a lot of work to do. Hopefully my orders for the plants and the rest of the headlights will come in early next week so we can make some good progress there. And next week we're going to be taking a look at some beasts, some explosions, maybe some ATRT positions. We'll see. But that's all for now, so let's hit that outro. I hope you guys enjoyed this extra long update of Umbara. As you can see, we are getting really close to the finale. I made a lot of progress over these past couple of weeks, and I'm waiting for some more packages to come in the mail so I can finish off those spotlights for the gunships, as well as getting the final terrain pieces and plant pieces in. These last couple of weeks are probably one of my favorite times for building a mock, because this is when you really get to enjoy the creative process that goes into building a mock, because for the first couple of months you spend most of the time laying down base plates and putting in filler brick, but these last couple of updates I get to do the really fun stuff like building monsters, placing the minifigures, putting together vehicles, creating fun little scenes for you guys to enjoy. So you guys are definitely not going to want to miss next week's update because that will be the final update before the finale. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up. And as always, feel free to ask me any questions about the mock down below in the comments. I love talking with you guys there. And if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing so you can become part of this great journey as well. Until next time, happy building.